Earth is pockmarked with wounds, not visible, not on any official map. But they're there. For centuries, the same coordinates have coughed up the impossible. Creatures emerging from the tree line, voices in dead languages, and minds breaking under the weight of it all. John Keel called these window areas. And once you're inside one, the rules of reality no longer apply. You've heard of UFO sightings, scattered incidents you can easily dismiss. But there's a pattern science refuses to acknowledge. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the phenomenon didn't just visit. It lived there for 13 months. It evolved, it learned, it hunted. From the Hudson Valley to the infamous Skinwalker Ranch, these aren't just hauntings. They're fractures in our dimension. Today, I'm showing you the geographic pattern that links them. Good evening, folks. Tonight on PhenomenOdd, we dive into John Keel's Ultraterrestrial theory and how his window areas can be used to predict where strangeness will emerge in our world. By the end, you'll be able to map those areas for yourself and even find out if you live inside of one. So get ready and enjoy the ride. A window zone is not a mystical concept. It's geographic, it's measurable, it's real. Keel defined it simply: an area where UFOs appear repeatedly, year after year. Not once every decade, repeatedly, hundreds of times spanning centuries. In his book Operation Trojan Horse, Keel documented this obsessively. He found that every state in the U.S. has between 2 and 10 window zones. Think about that. 2 to 10 permanent hotspots per state where the phenomena prefers to manifest. The largest window areas are predictable. One runs from Canada through the central states and back into the northeast. Another is centered in the Gulf of Mexico, encompassing Mexico, Texas, and the Southwest. Hundreds of smaller windows exist within these larger ones. They're layered and they're networked, and they've been active for longer than recorded history. The proof isn't in one sighting, it's in the pattern across time. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, November 1966. A creature with wings and glowing red eyes emerges near the TNT area, an abandoned munitions complex. Within days, dozens of sightings. But it doesn't stop. For 13 months, the creature appears. UFOs circle the town, electrical devices burn out, phones ring with no one on the other end, voices speak in unknown languages. Families wake in the night with missing time. Then, on December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapses. Keel had documented a prophecy, a prediction of disaster embedded in the phenomena itself. Was it a warning or was it an orchestration? Hudson Valley, New York, 1983. Police officers began reporting a large, boomerang-shaped object moving slowly across the sky. There are hundreds of witnesses. Over 4 months, the sightings intensify. It's not random, it's coordinated. The object moves in deliberate patterns. It appears above populated areas, it hovers, and then it vanishes. State police receive hundreds of calls. Some claim they experience missing time. Others report dreams of the object the night before it appears. The phenomenon knew it was being watched. It adjusted its behavior in response. These aren't isolated incidents. They're precedent-setting. Because in the 1950s, Keel discovered something that changed everything. He found that these window zones, every single one, centered directly over areas of magnetic deviation. Locations in the United States Geographical Survey that had already been mapped during classified flights in the 1950s. Kearney, Nebraska, Wananock, New Jersey, Ravenna, Ohio. These towns sat on magnetic faults, and they all had documented UFO history. Keel's research went deeper. He realized these windows weren't random geographic accidents. They clustered along specific Earth features, fault lines, rivers, and waterways, areas rich in mineral deposits. What do these areas have in common? Electromagnetic conductivity. The Earth itself is a conductor, and where conductivity is highest, where geological stress creates electromagnetic anomalies, the membrane is the thinnest. Consider this. Earth's magnetic field is not uniform. It's fractured. Weak in some places, intense in others. Our planet is threaded with energy corridors, and the phenomena uses these corridors. It travels along them, and it manifests at their intersections. This is why ancient cultures built temples at these exact locations. Megaliths in England, pyramids in Egypt, sacred sites in India. They didn't choose these places randomly. They recognized something. They understood that certain zones were thin, that the boundary between worlds was permeable, and they built structures to anchor those thin places to stabilize them. As Keel realized, modern culture has forgotten this knowledge entirely. We built shopping malls over window zones. We drive past them every day oblivious. Here's where Keel's observations become deeply unsettling. The phenomena in these window zones is not purely physical. It's environmental, it's psychological, and potentially temporal. Witnesses in active zones report time anomalies, minutes that expand, hours that vanish. Families tell of going to bed and after 20 minutes waking up and realizing that 8 hours have passed. Other reports include telepathic content, thoughts that don't originate from people's own minds, impressions, urges, sometimes specific information that they have no way of knowing. There's claims of prophetic dreams. A mother dreams of a disaster 3 days before it happens. A child draws a creature weeks before anyone else in the town reports seeing it. And finally, there's the synchronicity storms. Impossible coincidences clustering in rapid succession. And underneath it all, this sensation of being watched. Not by a creature or even a person, but almost by the environment itself. This is where Keel's research becomes genuinely dangerous. He discovered that the phenomena behaves like a feedback loop. The more attention you give it, the more it intensifies. This isn't metaphor, this is documented pattern. When Keel moved to Point Pleasant to investigate, he became part of the system. His presence, his investigation, his obsessive focus, it amplified the phenomena. Sightings increased, they became more coordinated, and the entities became more bold. The phenomenon was responding to his attention. It was learning from the investigation, and it was adapting. By Keel's final analysis, he realized something truly chilling. The superspectrum is not a passive environment. It's an active intelligence. It reacts to human consciousness. It reads fear, fascination, and obsession, and it feeds those emotions back into the observer. In modern window zones, the pattern continues. At Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, the moment intensive scientific equipment was installed, the phenomena intensified exponentially. Electromagnetic interference, drones crashing, electronic devices failing. The more they measured, the more the phenomena manifested. It's as if the presence of scientific instruments triggered a response. The membrane recognizes observation. It doesn't like it, so it escalates. By 1970, John Keel had abandoned the extraterrestrial hypothesis entirely. These were not visitors from outer space. That explanation collapsed under the weight of evidence. Instead, Keel proposed something far stranger. He called them ultraterrestrials. Not otherworldly, but underworldly. Beings that exist in a parallel dimension called the superspectrum. A band of reality layered beneath or alongside our own. These intelligences don't travel here. They're already here. They live in the membrane. The window zones are where the membrane is thinnest, where they have the easiest access to our perception. And they don't appear as themselves. They wear masks. They shapeshift according to cultural expectations and human psychology. To medieval people, they were demons. To ancient people, they were gods. To modern people, they're aliens. The form changes, the intelligence remains constant. And its goal is not invasion. It's something far less dramatic and far more terrifying. It's maintaining equilibrium, according to Keel. The phenomena is a system operator. It's managing something, keeping something stable, or keeping something contained. So, the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis and window zones. A lot to unpack here. Last video, I talked about the Harvard University paper on crypto Terrestrials. Now we're talking ultraterrestrials. Same idea, different author, different researcher. Okay. All encompassing theory of the paranormal, once again. That all the phenomena, ghosts, skinwalkers, UFOs, heck, even the Loch Ness Monster, is all part of a single phenomena, a single intelligence that wears disguises and basically is able to bleed through into our world and interact with us um, based on our own perceptions and our own beliefs. It does sound pretty cool, and to me, it does make a lot of sense. If you just dive into UFOs specifically and think about it, UFO accounts from across time, exhibit a lot of different characteristics. Some are metal craft, right? That crash and break and are damaged if you believe that. Others seem to be balls of plasma that somehow move and act intelligently. And then there's all this stuff in between. Craft that sometimes appear to be physical manufactured items and then later act as if they're alive and reacting to you. So what if they're just one of these ultra terrestrial disguises? And in the end, could it really be as simple as using U.S. Geological survey maps to map out and predict where these kind of phenomena will appear? I'll tell you, for one, I'm headed to Google right after this video, and I'm going to see where the zones are in my state. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like creepy and strange videos like this, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And please, please leave your own encounters in the comments. If any of you go out and map your window zones in your state and maybe go investigate some of them, please let me know what you find. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to make more videos on this topic. As always, thank you. Stay spooky, stay curious, and definitely stay strange. Have a good night.